can see just how much goes into the preparation of a television commercial. All right, let's see the end result of all this research and creative input and preview our latest ad.
When you're smiling,
Abdul used to be a miserable old fool until New Zealand Insurance changed his life. You see, a few weeks ago, we had a big disaster. But he soon missed his comfy home.
I need a drink.
And a roof over his head. Well, you said you were thirsty. Little did we know the store was insured with New Zealand Insurance. They approve most business claims in only 5 days, so claims can be settled in days, not weeks or months.
I want to go home.
But then suddenly we stumbled on the new store, finished already.
New Zealand Insurance. We approve most business claims in only 5 days from getting your claim form.
Thank you, New Zealand Insurance. You made me so very happy.
Well, I hope you like it. Looks great, doesn't it? It's humorous, warm, friendly, the message gets across, and most importantly, it's different. People will notice it. But what you've seen is only half the story, so I thought you'd like to get some idea of what went on behind the scenes when we made this commercial. Let's meet the stars, Honeybunch, alias Abdul, and his female partner Tinkerbell, who live at Silverton. They were fairly talkative at times. Abdul was a particularly handsome camel with quite a personality and reasonably well behaved. He's one of the fastest camels in Australia, having won most of the official camel races over the past few years. Tinkerbell is a little less predictable. She really tried the director, Ron Wyndon's patience to the limit with this shot. There was no way that she was going to go through that gate. However, after much wasted film and frustration, we managed to entice her in the right direction. The set was really quite something. As with most filming, the commercial was shot out of sequence. That is, the last scenes were shot first, and the first scenes were shot last. The new general store, which appears at the end of the commercial, was shot first, then it was aged to look shabby and reshot. The ageing process took quite some time. Let's now talk with Ron Wyndon, the director, to find out how it was done.
You've seen the set as it was for the part of the commercial where it's been rebuilt by New Zealand Insurance. And we're now in the ready to begin the process of aging it down to how it would have been originally prior to the storm sequence being created. The boys have got an awful lot of work to do. They've got to they're going to change all the windows to the older style windows.
Oh, so every window is going to be changed.
Yes, that's right. They've got aluminium frames in there, for instance, you know, which represent the more modern day thing.
Yes.
But windows will be changed. The colouring of the weatherboard will be aged back.
How will they do that?
Well, we've got about 3 painters there who are well experienced in aging things. The signs will all be changed to old signs and perhaps look a bit more like the guy did them himself 20 years ago rather than a sign writer of today, you know.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
You can see just how much thought and attention to detail goes into a film set. For these windstorm scenes, a special wind machine was used to create wind and dust. The machine itself was a petrol motor driving a large jet aircraft fan, and it really did move a lot of air and dust. For the snake scene, we used a 6-foot king brown snake, the second most deadliest snake in Australia, which is also very aggressive, as you can see. On one occasion, it actually escaped from the tea chest, which sent some of the crew flying for cover as it slithered around the set. It took quite some time to recapture it and restore it to the tea chest. The original script included a scene of an eagle swooping on the camels when they were supposed to be at death's door. This involved 2 structures which you can see. a truck at one end and a scaffold at the other, with two wires strung between them and the model eagle running down the wire. Our hero Camel Abdul created quite a few problems with his shot. He was to lift his head when the eagle swooped, but Abdul chose to lift his whole body and exit from the scene altogether. After a number of disastrous takes, he finally settled down and the director was happy. The eagle scenes were terrific. Working with animals on film is never easy. We had some problems with the camels on this take of a creek scene. The idea was that they were supposed to be staggering along the creek and then up the bank. But by about take 3, Abdul decided that he'd got it right and he'd had enough. Camels are actually very fast on their feet once they get going, so when Abdul took off for home, it took several vehicles and quite some time to bring him back for take 4. This was another shot that we had to leave out, and after all that effort. We also shot a couple of different endings to the commercial to see which one would work best. This one is a fainting scene. As you can see, we had a few problems. Camels don't like rolling over, and Abdul sure made that pretty clearly understood. The commercial was filmed at Mundi Station, which is about 30 to 40 kilometres west of Broken Hill, quite near the old ghost town of Silverton. We selected Mundi Station for a number of reasons. One reason was that we wanted a true outback type scene, and the other was that we needed the availability of camels and people to handle the camels, which is a rather unique skill that not too many people have. The Kennard family from Silverton run a camel farm there and were able to provide us with the camels and the people to handle them. The ghost town of Silverton was once a booming mining town of some 30,000 population, but today it numbers a population of around 60 persons. This hotel was featured in the film A Town Like Alice and is a real outback hotel. To shoot a 60-second commercial on this scale takes many days and many hours of film. To ensure that the film taken each day was right, it was sent from Broken Hill to Sydney each evening to be developed and checked at a film laboratory in Sydney. The laboratory would then ring the director at 6 a.m. the following morning to confirm that the shots were all in order. The set would not be changed from what it was like the previous day until the director received this confirmation in case it was necessary to reshoot some of the scenes. In the final edit, we had some difficulties in getting the shots of the camel's mouth movements to appear like they were really talking. We had to do a little bit of cheating and tamper with the film. All in all, the filming went very well, and whilst it was a difficult and ambitious TV commercial to produce, the actual filming of it was relatively trouble-free.
Great work, John. I hope you enjoyed this camel's eye view of all the work and effort that's gone into making this latest commercial. It's taken months of preparation, and a lot of people, both inside and outside the company, have been involved. But to be perfectly honest, a great commercial can be like a camel without a hump, unless, of course, we fulfill the promise of the commercial's message. We have to make the story work for us, and only you can provide the hump by continuing to give the distinctive service that New Zealand Insurance is becoming well known for. Finally, John Easton will be sending out to you all a tape of the commercial in the next few days, just before it's due to go to air in regional stations. Perhaps like me, you'd also like to see Abdul and Tinkerbell just once more. Thanks for watching.
When you're smiling,
Abdul used to be a miserable old fool until New Zealand Insurance changed his life. You see, a few weeks ago, we had a big disaster. But he soon missed his comfy home.
I need a drink.
And a roof over his head. Well, you said you were thirsty. Little did we know the store was insured with New Zealand Insurance. They approve most business claims in only 5 days, so claims can be settled in days, not weeks or months.
I want to go home.
But then suddenly we stumbled on the new store, finished already.
New Zealand Insurance. We approve most business claims in only 5 days from getting your claim form.
Thank you, New Zealand Insurance. You made me so very happy.